What's going on, guys? This week I've been driving the 2019 Mercedes-Benz AMG E63 Wagon. Let's check this thing out. Alright, so I'm not one to normally read straight from a manufacturer's website, but I think Mercedes put this pretty well describing this vehicle. They basically say this is either the most extreme, irrational, and irresistible wagon, or it's the most practical and versatile supercar ever. I guess that's up for you to decide. Yes, this is a 5-seater wagon, or as our friends across the pond might call it, an estate car, but it's got an AMG badge on the back. AMG, if you don't know, is Mercedes-Benz performance arm. They build out race cars for Mercedes, and they build out these special cars for us. Now, I've driven a handful of Mercedes vehicles over the past 10 years, but this thing, of course, we're about to jump into it, but first, let's talk about trim levels and get a basic understanding of what Mercedes is offering these days in the US market. So your basic car lineup is the A-Class at the bottom tier, the C-Class, the E-Class, and then the S-Class all the way at the top. This is obviously an E-Class, which you can have in a sedan, a coupe, a convertible, or a wagon. Each of these variants can be had in an AMG model, and there's really not much difference between those. We're obviously driving the AMG E63 wagon. And without further ado, let's get a closer look. So as far as exterior packages go, you can get this thing with a night package, which gives you black gloss trimming, which we have, or you can get a carbon fiber package that gives you carbon fiber trimming for an extra about $3,000. So we have the night package with the black gloss trimming, but we also have some extra carbon fiber bits. Let's check them out. We do have carbon fiber side mirrors that fold in whenever you lock the vehicle. Those carbon fiber mirrors are a $1,200 option. We've got carbon fiber trimming here by the engine badge. We've got a carbon fiber trim piece here at the lower lip spoiler, and some carbon fiber trimming here at the rear. Up front, you get the intelligent light system headlamps, which is an $800 option. This gives you adaptive high beams that varies the beam pattern of the LEDs to make sure that you have maximum illumination and minimum glare to oncoming drivers. You get these 20-inch AMG forged matte black wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport tires. These are 265/35 ZR20 tires. Behind those wheels, you have ceramic composite disc brakes with 6-piston calipers. This is another $8,950 option. The color we have here is called Polar White. And while some people, Toby, think that white is a boring color for sports cars or supercars, I quite like it. The only other color I would get this thing in is the black, which also looks really good. So overall, I quite like the exterior look of this thing. I had a couple of family members walk past it not really paying attention, and when I told them it was a station wagon, they were really surprised and had to go back and take a second look. They thought they just walked by a compact SUV or something, but of course that's how the market is trending these days. I really like the wagon look, and I know a lot of people will like the more stealthy, sleeper look, but I quite like the fact that this thing looks bold and aggressive, and you know it's an AMG. All right, so before we jump inside and start looking at the interior, let's look at the back and check out the space we have here. You can do the kick underneath the bumper to help open up that hatch. And you get a ton of space. There is a ton of space back here, so if you're hauling the family on a trip or need to carry a bunch of stuff, this wagon's got you covered. You also have a 40-20-40 split in the seats, and they can all fold down to make this a really large flat floor. Under the hood is AMG's handcrafted 4-liter bi-turbo V8 engine. This engine has what Mercedes-Benz dubs nano slide cylinder walls, which were developed for AMG race cars. This cuts friction in the engine, raising endurance and power. The twin scroll turbos are nested in the hot V to cut loss and lag. All said, this thing pushes 603 horsepower, 627 foot-pounds of torque, and is matched up to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this is no ordinary transmission either. This is AMG's Speed Shift MTC transmission. 0 to 60 in this car is rated at 3.4 seconds. And don't worry, we'll get to that later. All right, so let's take a look at the interior, starting with the back seats. So obviously you're not getting gypped on any materials being back here or space. The E-Class is based on a pretty big platform, so you get plenty of space for leg room in the back seats, even for full-size adults. I'm not behind the driver's seat, but it's almost the same position, and I got plenty of room to play with here. You also get a 12-volt circular plug and a 115-volt house plug here in the back seats. All right, now let's talk about the rest of the interior. There's a lot to go over. All right, so inside our E63, we have black hand-fitted Napa leather and genuine carbon fiber trimming. The carbon fiber trimming in here is a $2,850 option. We also have the warmth and comfort package, which is another $1,050 option and gives you heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and a heated front armrest. We have the AMG Napa leather wrapped performance steering wheel. We have the AMG Performance bucket seats, which is another $2,500 option. You also have ambient lighting. You can choose from 64 different colors or have it on a rotating pattern. And you get a 3-zone climate system that can split up the climate between the driver, the passenger, and the rear. All right, right off the bat, technology-wise, you have two 12.3-inch displays right here behind the steering wheel. One of them is your digital instrument cluster that's configurable and has some exclusive AMG performance readouts. You get an AMG heads-up display, and you can get the AMG Track Pace app that lets you store and share driving data via your phone. For your infotainment system, you get that 12.3-inch high-res display controlled by Mercedes Command System with touchpad controller. And of course you get a high-end Burmster surround sound system. They make high-end home audio and specially built this system for the E-Class. You get 13 speakers, 590 watts, and a 9-channel digital amplifier. You also get wireless charging for your phone here, and you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration built in. There's absolutely no doubt there's a ton more we could touch on in here. I didn't even get into all these safety features that Mercedes packs into this thing, but I think it's time to crank it up and take it for a drive. First of all, you don't have a big shifter here in the console. If it's been a while since you've driven a Mercedes, the shifter is right here behind the steering wheel where most cars' windshield wipers go. And yes, I've already hit it once thinking it was the windshield wipers and put myself into neutral. It happens. So with this E63S, you get dynamic driving modes through AMG's Dynamic Select. This dials in your throttle mapping, shifting behavior, dampening rate, stability intervention, and more. You can choose from Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, or Race. There's also an individual setting where you can set up exactly how you like it to feel. You get air-controlled suspension that allows you to raise and lower the car. This makes it easier to get this thing into parking lots or driveways. The car will also lower at high speeds for better aerodynamics and traction. And it will respond in milliseconds to changing road conditions to keep you as planted as possible. So let's talk a second about that ridiculous speed. The 603 horsepower and 627 foot-pounds of torque would be nothing if it couldn't put that power to the ground. That's why this car also has AMG's Performance 4MATIC Plus, which maximizes launch grip and lets you engage drift mode, which will put 100% of the power to the rear wheels. All right, so we got a bit of a straight stretch here. Let's gun it, try to do a 0 to 60. Gonna keep both my hands on the wheel, not gonna worry about trying to time this or anything. We've got it in Sport Plus. We're manually shifting, so let's get it. It's ridiculous speed. Ridiculous. One thing to note is that you do get pretty harsh suspension even in comfort mode, but what do you expect from this AMG? All right, so let's talk a little bit about price and competition. The base price for an AMG E63 Wagon is $108,850. But of course, we have an even more ridiculous MSRP on what we're driving here. With all the extra options and bits that we have in this vehicle, this one's MSRP is just over $138,000. And that might be a new personal record for me for the most expensive car that I've had for a full week review. So competition-wise, you could compare this to the CTS-V, which I drove a few weeks ago. You can go check out that video. You could also compare it to the BMW M5, the Lexus GS F Sport, maybe the Audi RS7, but really the RS7 is the closest thing you get to a wagon. At least here in the States, there's not many super performance wagons that you can buy, except for this one. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the E63S AMG Wagon. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks for watching.